Today I'm going to teach you how to use parent controls to manage the content and privacy restrictions on your child's iPhone. In particular, we want to help you keep your child safe while they're using their phone. So what I'm about to teach you is how to restrict whether a child can install, delete, or do in-app purchases of apps, as well as to restrict the ratings of movies, music, podcasts, and so forth. It'll also show you how to limit explicit material. Okay, so I'm assuming you already have set up Family Share and added your child's iPhone or your child's Apple account to your Family Share and put in place a passcode that you have not told your child. So the first thing to do then is to go into your settings on your phone, scroll down to Screen Time. Once you get into Screen Time, keep scrolling until you find your child. Now, you may have a couple of children listed here. Pick the one whose phone you want to start managing. Once you're in that person's phone, right, then go down to Screen Time. Once you get to Screen Time, click Content and Privacy Restrictions. Okay, so this is where we begin. If it's not already toggle on Content and Policy Restrictions. Go down to the first one, iTunes and App Store purchases. You can see I've already disallowed or not allowed, I don't allow, right? Installing, deleting, and in-app purchases. And always require the additional password to be implemented if they're going to make additional purchases. All right? Okay, so now we've tackled the idea of restricting their ability to install apps on their phone. Now, the next one is a little deceiving. You could toggle these off, any one of them you want, but it actually doesn't delete it from your child's phone. It just deletes it from or removes it from the home screen. The other one that's really critical is App Stores, Media, Web, and Games. Click on that. And you'll see right away, this is explicit content and ratings. So music, podcasts, news, fitness, make it clean. Music videos, perhaps you don't want them to watch music videos on their phone or music profiles. You get to set the rating of the movies, TV shows, right? Books, apps at a certain age rating. So if you go into that, by the way, you can pick, do I want PG, 13, I should say, 16, unrated, obviously would be unfiltered. We don't want that. We don't want ad clips. Now here's the other critical thing too. Web content, right? The iPhone comes unrestricted. Limit it at least to limit the adult websites at least, right? You could also put in their specific websites that their phone will only allow them to go to. But the catch here is this only applies to Safari, the internet browser Safari. If you download Chrome or DuckDuckGo or something else, these particular restraints will not apply to that particular app. You've got to go into that app and add those constraints. All right, so be mindful of that. Now, here's the Game Center. Another important part, especially in teenagers, right? You could choose not to allow multiplayer, adding friends, connecting with friends, screen recording. That's a big one, right? You don't want them on their phone recording their screen and sending that to other folks. Private messaging is probably the most important. Do not allow that, right? That is fraught with individuals who are seeking harm to minors. Next, let's go to privacy settings. Again, if you have any questions about any of these settings, or really any settings, go into AI, Gronk, Gemini, whatever your platform is, type in, I'm a parent trying to use parent controls. What is the quote, location services mean under the content and privacy restrictions? And just ask it and it'll tell you. But let's go into a couple of these, or at least one. Locations and services. Basically, what you're saying is if you say allow changes, your child can go in and say, whenever I'm using any of these particular apps, I'm going to be able to change if that app is allowed to see my particular location. And so I really don't want my child having that capacity. So I'm going to click don't allow, right? And you have to put in your passcode to change that. But I'll keep it open so you can see another thing that's important. Let's just hit Allegiant, that app, right? There's something called precise location. This pinpoints your location or your child's phone's location, for lack of a better term, precisely. If you turn that off, it's a generic or general place, and they won't know precisely where your child is at. I would turn that off. The tough thing is you got to go app by app and do that. Okay, so go back on out. Again, you can go through many of these things. A really critical one, maybe the most important and most critical, is allow changes to passcode and Face ID. Do not allow the changing of the passcode by your child on their device. Otherwise, they can override all of the changes you've made, right? And so that, my friends, is how you use parent controls to manage the content and privacy restrictions on your child's phone.